Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me balls, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as...
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty, this is episode 59. I'm joined by Colin and John. He's both alright still?
Aye. This is starting to feel like one of those charity events where you just keep doing something for like 24 hours.
It's like Quantum Leap or Groundhog Day, one of them. Right, we had a question for Casuals Attire, which we finished the last episode on, which was weird things that happened. And had I read further on into the tweets, I would have seen that some other folk had sent in some. So I'll read out a couple weird things. So William said he had a pie in Aberdeen that poured out about 200 mils of hot grease down his arm. He was about 3 rows from the front and lobbed it towards the track. It hit a copper who had moved from where I saw him, and I got booted out after some arguing from me and my mate's brothers to let me in again. Quite lucky if you've hit a policeman with a pie to get let back into the ground. Gordon McDuff, in the 80s, going to Easter Road from Gala, just got into Edinburgh. A driver opened his door before the bus stopped. Lad got off while the bus was moving, smashed himself into the bus stop, got up, rubbed himself down, and gone with it. Funny as fuck. That's sort of like, there was one of my flatmates we were talking about before, right? Dave was on an LRT bus in Edinburgh, right, when we lived there, double decker. Remember, had the door at the front and the door in the middle. Mm-hmm. So he's sitting on the bus going to work. They've gone through Gorgie, and the alarm goes like if the bus the doors were shut. It was like that kind of the high pitched alarm goes, and he says the driver came along in the middle doors to try to get him a wee sugar to fix it, and the whole doors just fell out the bus. Amazing.
I've not been on a bus in Edinburgh for ages. Do they still have the middle door?
They can.
Back. There was newer ones a couple of years ago. They brought a new style of bus, like longer,
right,
more seats in it, and that, and the middle door were back. But
aye,
I don't know about the new ones that are flying about now because they're getting rid of the maroon. By the looks of things, they've got the Pride ones, they've got black ones and white ones.
Good.
But I don't know if they've all got the middle door. I've not been on a bus for ages because we're working from home and that now, so.
Aye, same here. Lamac said he got a tin of beans chucked at him in a wee corner shop in Dundee after the game at Dens Park. They all missed, just like the shite football team, and that was the last Sunday. Alistair Taylor, this was on this. Oh, sorry, John, when you go.
I was just going to say, I think it was either coming away from Ibrox or Parkhead. I think Hibs had won. And I remember getting threatened by a wee laddie, and he couldn't have been any older than like 7 or 8 year old, and he had an axe in his hand. Like, right, get back on the bus.
Aye. There was a joke about when folk used to park their cars. It's in Glasgow, especially, where the parents would say, watch your car for 50p, mister. Right. And the kid, the story says, everybody says, it's all right, my dog's in the car. And the kid says, can your dog put out fires? Alistair Taylor, this was, I think, meeting famous people. She sat in front of Simon Pegg on a flight from New York once, and he waited in the aisle outside the toilet while I emptied my bladder and squeezed one out, if that counts. Aye, okay. WTC 1981, when I was a kid, I fell, got trampled on outside Celtic Park and cut my head open on broken glass bottles. I was taken back into the stadium for first aid. I'm still waiting on Danny Dyer wanting to interview me about it. Right, William Todd says, can we kill the music a couple of minutes before kickoff to allow the crowd to get pumped up before the game starts? And can we have Glory, Glory to the Hibs as the last song before kickoff? Well, we're not in charge. We're not in charge. I like the idea of slipping the music a wee bit before, though. I've always been an advocate of that. Although maybe that's because the tannoy has historically been crap. The tannoy was definitely better the last time I was at Easter Road. So maybe I'd be more inclined to just hear the music now. As the teams are coming out.
What we need more of is more than just the singing section contributing to the atmosphere. I think Hibs seem to have sleepwalked their way into just kind of looking at section 43 of the singing section and go, right, are you guys singing today?
Aye. Aye, everybody get involved with the singing. Muzz said, once had a fly take a piss on my thumb when I was a kid. That's not really a question, is it? Hold on a wee second. This goes on. I must have forgot to bookmark one of Fats Brickus' question. My dad seen a wasp doing a jobby today. Have you ever seen a wasp or a bee going to the toilet? And so Muzz then said he's had a fly take a piss on his thumb. I have seen a bee poo before.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
No. It's.
It looks like he's lining up.
He's got that wee smirk going on, eh? Dad joke.
Do you know what? There is the opportunity to nick in and steal somebody else's joke here. Who? Where was it? It's Cameron in 1875. He says, "No, I've never seen a bee going to the toilet, but I'm positive one goes in straight after I've had a shite. Mrs. is always saying it's humming in there." Ricky said he had a ladybird shit on him one time, but I think everyone had that as a kid. Nick M said, no, but I seen this horny wee bastard with his tadger out on my fence the other morning, and it does appear to be a squirrel with a stoner.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with his nuts. We've gone from QI to Attenborough here, haven't we? We've effectively taken over the animal documentaries.
Shit, though. Come on, tell me.
Well,
is it a tiny wee jobby?
Aye, like have you ever seen a fish taking a shit?
Aye.
So imagine that, but on a smaller scale and no in water.
Right. So not like a fish.
It must be tiny. I mean, you must be walking about a fucking magnifying glass to see.
No, it was just on the on the slabs, on the ground. It was a freaking newspaper.
Thinking.
Plotting.
Staring right at you.
So like, mate, just having a shite on me. So, all right, no bother. Wasn't going to argue because it stunk me.
Can you give me the sports section?
You just leave it to the side when you're finished with it. Matt says, how do you use the shower? Stand side on, face the water, or back to the water? For me, I'm a side person. I'm a combination of face on and back too.
Yeah, I think you've got to face away when you're lathering yourself up, and you face it when you're washing yourself up.
I think your back provides that shield to make sure you've got enough soap on you.
Yeah.
Colin, same with that?
Same face on, turn as you say, turn round. And then obviously to clear. Do you wash your legs yet? Are you started doing that yet?
Occasionally,
We're just a token rub.
When I remember that I've been shamed for it, I just give them an obligatory scrub, and then I forget it for another 6 weeks.
What about the top of your feet?
The top of my feet, I go. If I'm doing my legs, I go right down to the feet.
And underside?
See, it's not every time. The bottom of the feet, I tend not to bother because I think, well, come on, there's soap and water in the basin I'm standing in. I'll just that'll get the bottom.
That'll do it. 150k on Hamlin Hill. Are bats just squirrels who are into My Chemical Romance?
Oh, that's funny.
Just we got
like because you get the flying squirrels, don't you? Like they've got that wee sort of like flying suit, flappy skin between their front and back legs. I like that.
We'll go with that.
I was trying to think of My Chemical Romance album there. Was it 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge or something?
I think I've never really into them. I think if they're good or not. Paul Mackay said, where is the weirdest place you've met a Hibs player? Did you say hiya or ditch your company for a little bit and have a pint with the said player? I have. It was Colin Nish in the Lose at Romney, and we had a pint with him as well.
Did you buy him a pint?
Story.
Did you
buy who a pint?
Paul Mackay bumped into Colin Nish and had a pint with him.
I wonder, did Colin Nish buy, or did you buy Colin Nish a pint?
I think text into 0295, either Colin Nish bought or I bought.
Yep.
For about 6 weeks, maybe even longer, I got to play fives with Stuart Lovell and got to watch a Champions League final with him as well. He was mates with a mate of mine. and I just turned up because they needed somebody to play fives with.
I saw we went to Portugal, and Stephen Whittaker was in the queue for the plane in front of me, and I never spoke to him at all. He just signed for Rangers that summer, so I was getting in the huff with him. So
I've already used my Alan O'Brien story up on that
aye.
one.
Well, you met
Chippy.
Liam Henderson recently, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Just 2 months ago now. Just when the Euros were on, he was stays round the corner when he's not in Italy. Just the football pitches at the front. He was out doing some pre-season running with his wife, his new wife, timing him. So he had a wee chat with him. He just chatted away for a good few minutes because my daughter went with my daughter. Because I seen him and I was like, right, stop the car, get back, let's get your ball.
And a strip, get him a strip on quick.
Get your strip on and let's get there and get a photo with Liam Henderson. Because I was like, that's fucking Liam Henderson. Like, because he crossed the road in front of me and I went, fuck's Liam Henderson doing here? So anyway, it was him. I chatted for 5 minutes or so. He was chatted to my daughter more than me, but aye, it was good because that was what I took her over for anyway. So aye.
You saw Mikey Stewart walking up past my mother-in-law's. She stays just in this wee cul-de-sac bit of Carstorpham, and you can only like it's one of these ones that cars park. You can park one car on the street, and then cars coming up the street, you have to go kind of up on the curb to get past them. And we were just going in. I think just going into her house, and Mikey Stewart just was walking up, just walked up past. We were obviously going up to visit somebody. That was quite weird. Didn't expect to see him there. Old Park of Carstorpham.
Saw Ivan Sprill in Ben Medina in 2008. Just walking about.
I seen Ivan Sprill in the school playground because his son used to be in the same class as my daughter. And the other one I was just thinking there is Gary Locke. I just seen fucking Gary Locke the night. I managed to get down kind of the road you come up, it's all cars all over the place. So I managed to get down so he couldn't come up. He had to let me past.
Excellent, well done.
So he's delighted.
That is superb.
And because you can see him a mile away because he's got the reg, he's got the private plate, like L3CKE or something. What a bell end. He walks about this town like he fucking owns it. In his tracksuit, honestly, he goes out on a mountain bike and he cycles, he just stays like over the back. And it's like, I don't know why loads of footballers stay around, or ex-footballers stay around here, but he's on this fucking mountain bike and it's like, you just look at him going, you change the gear, mate. I don't know if he deliberately puts it in a high gear, it makes him look hard, or if he's just constantly fucked. You say it looks like he's struggling. You be well pushing that on the road, mate.
All right, TG Willis says, why don't you ever see film or TV actors brushing their teeth with an electric toothbrush? There's loads of things you didn't see, actors did, kind of films, characters. They never go for lunch, Like, I think we've talked about it before. 24?
No,
that was... Right, full day, doesn't have a coffee break or nothing. But there's loads of films like that.
Did he know? Was there no one episode that you talked about, or one 24-hour one day where he overcame like a heroin addiction and he saved the president and he did this and he did that?
Aye, all in above
24 hours.
Some boy died. He did.
And came back. Now imagine you die, right, and somebody gives you the jump leads to keep you alive, and you're like, you need to stay in bed for like 3 weeks. Like, no, I'm just getting my tie back on and I'm back out there to save the world.
Where's my gun? At least eat something.
But I bet the serious answer to that question is probably a sponsorship thing.
Aye, or the noise.
Oral-B's not actually got into paying anybody money yet.
Aye, probably that. Or the noise, but then the noise wouldn't matter because they would just...
Because if they were doing it,
put the sound in later, aye.
Because even like James Bond in that the last time was into the Heinekens rather than a martini, wasn't he? So you think, well, you know, they'll do anything, even a famous thing like that.
Aye,
he had a fucking bottle of Heineken in the casino or whatever.
I wonder if it's like the actors stipulated because it's harder to act like you're brushing your teeth with an electric one because you just have to, like I'll do it manually because look, I'm acting like this. I'm acting, cleaning my teeth. With the electric one, you just can stand like this, just moving it about because you didn't do that with the electric one, obviously. Right, Jack Gillies says all of Stephen McGinn's genes went on looks instead of football inability. Discuss.
Would you say that Stephen McGinn was the best looking at the three McGinn brothers?
Aye, I would have said so.
Aye, but probably the least successful player of the three. Is that what he's getting at, you think?
Aye.
Did he not go down to England for a bit?
Aye, he's had quite a good career. So
I'm not saying he's not, but that's what I was going to say. He's hardly traded in his football ability, because like, you can imagine any us or the boy that's tweeted it in, I'm sure he's not played at any level like us. So
aye, but we traded in our football ability, obviously, for the looks. You know?
We did. But so I don't know if he traded in his football ability, because he's still got football ability.
See, for a 15-year career, I'm looking at Steve McGinn's appearances for the various clubs that he's played for. I reckon you're lucky if he's done maybe about 300, maybe less than 300.
Is he a bit of a journeyman? Is he?
Aye. St Mirren, Watford, Shrewsbury, Sheffield United, Dundee, Wycombe, St Mirren, Hibs, Greenock Morton, Killie.
We're the best team he's played for then, eh?
Sheffield United's a big club, I know, but I mean that's typical. That's journeyman stuff. It was like that boy at Motherwell that he got man of the match the first game of the season. I've heard fuck all about him since, but you know, it was going to be like everybody talking him up as if he was going to be Player of the Year this year.
Was that Peter Van Vieren or something? His name was.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know if he's still playing for them or not. I don't know if he's already moved to another club yet or what. But he's played for fucking more clubs than he's been born years.
Right, when Martin Scorsese, this is from Neil Whelan, when Martin Scorsese writes the movie about Hibernian Football Club, what will he call it and who will DiCaprio play? Well, Gangs of Loch End, I think.
That's a shout.
Gangs of Loch End, and DiCaprio would have to go as Big Daz.
Aye, or Jack Ross.
Oh yeah, that's a good show actually.
I could see DiCaprio playing someone like Stevenson, just for build, for character. He's not tall enough to play McGregor. He's not big enough to play McGregor.
Or maybe David Gray then, because he would get the hero bit.
Aye, maybe.
He'd get the because that would be the finale, wouldn't it? Like that would be the. So they're going to want the star in the.
Or in true DiCaprio style, he might play the anti-hero and be Dre Wright.
A rags to riches story shows the winner in this season's cup final. LG and Cow 456 said was the only reason we signed Paul McGinn because of the name. Aye, that's harsh. He was player of the season last season, wasn't he? Like kind of.
Yeah, he's now vice captain as well.
Aye. So. Alistair Taylor, what's more painful, a kick in the bollocks or a toe right in the starfish?
I think a kick in the balls is. I've probably had more of them than I have a toe right of the arse as well.
I've never been toed in the starfish, but I did wonder when I saw this question come in. Do you think how big a risk of it is there of someone's big toe penetrating your starfish if someone was to kick you?
Well, there'd have to be barefoot, wouldn't they? For that to happen.
It's tough to be like if you've got your jeans on, they're not going to make it. It's not durable enough.
Aye, so you'd have to be naked. I mean, what sort of weird situation are you in where they've not got a shoe on and you're naked?
Text in 80295.
But we're kind of kicking the balls is worse than childbirth, and that's scientifically proven in the pain wise.
Aye. Well, I'd told the story before about the stag weekend we were in Prague that ended up with a fight with Bon Jovi, didn't I? That you remember this one, John? I'm sure it was one of the early episodes. And as the fight was kind of progressing, the guys were hilariously rolling about the ground, doing nothing in particular to each other. One of the boys ran up and just swung a boot and caught the guy right in the starfish, and he went, "Woo!" like that. It pretty much just buckled at everybody at that point. Mike said, if you woke up as the opposite sex tomorrow, what's the first thing you would do? I'd check if I could still reverse park, he said.
I think I'd be feeding the bairn.
Aye, take the dog out. Neil said, someone just back from a stag do and feeling like shit. What's the worst hangover you've had? And what's your go-to way to deal with the hang?
My worst hangover was after CIS Cup win. I went out in the morning, the day after, obviously, and went out, got all the papers. I wanted to keep mementos all the day, and I think I went into town and I got myself a Burger King. And then I just got on the bus, went back to the flat, and I sat, I lay rather, in the recovery position on the couch for hours and hours and hours afterwards. Like you'll have had the hangover where your heart is just pounding, and you've got the fear big time. That was awful. Honestly, it was about a 3-day hangover that, and just just had to ride the wave, let it go. There's no real cure. You can. I find sometimes when I've got a hangover that I just want to eat and eat and eat, and there's no amount of eating gets rid of the hangover.
I just want to spew. That's I think the worst one I had was we'd won my team when I worked at Sky. We'd won a Sky Sports Award, and we had this big night out at Chambers Street Museum. It was all drink laid on all night, and we got handed these bags, like a goodie bag, as we went in, and they had no like miniatures, like but small bottles of spirits. And it was my birthday, either like a couple of days before or a couple of days after. So we kind of had made like a birthday night out as well. And everyone was giving me their wee bottles of spirits, but it was like, have that, but drink it now. So we had all that, and was getting drink, just ploughed at me. And Neil McCann and I think David Tanner were hosting it. That thing. I was fucking ill. I'd gone, they'd got me a retro Hibs top. It was like a black tie thing, so I was kilted and everything. I think halfway through the night, they'd got me this retro Hibs top. I had that on. I must have gone to the toilets and taken my shirt and everything off. I was up the rest of the night with a Hibs top and a kilt. And the next day, I was supposed to be working on the Saturday. And I think I woke up about 3 hours late for work. The building's walking distance. I thought, right, maybe if I walk up, I'll kind of clear my head. Walked up, as soon as I got in, spewing, went to my module to say hello to my team. They were like, have you been? About 5 minutes in the module, back to the box. I must have been about an hour in there, and I was like, I'm going home. That was the worst I've ever felt. It was just horrendous all that day. I couldn't even go back and collect my car for work. That night, I had to leave it another day because I was like, I'm that rough now that I reckon I would still be over the limit. So, that's probably the most grim one that I've ever had. What were you, Colin?
I've had a few, but I'm a bit like John in that I just need to sleep it off. The worst one I've had in recent times was my mate Neil's 40th at the rugby club, and it was like one of these daft ones where when you're drinking Zambucas and that, all the different flavoured ones, and I couldn't even like it, and I've never touched it since, and that must be about 7 or 8 years ago now. If he's listening, 10 years ago. But the oh fucking hell, that was a Saturday night. The Sunday was just right off. I had to go to my work on a Monday. I was still struggling on the Monday. But I'm like, when I do get them, it's a lazy about, do nothing, try and sip something to drink, and then by about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I think, maybe get a pizza, and then that try and settle my stomach a bit at that time of night. But it's just, I just can't move. That's just sit still. No TV on, no flashing lights or anything. Just like fucking nothing.
I mind taking the kids up to the library one time. So after we'd done the 5 circle, talked about that day before. And the next day, we'd hang in, and Jim was working. So I had the kids, and I was like, got to maybe 12 o'clock. And the kids, when they're wee, they need attention. And I was like, I'll walk up to the library with them because it has to be quiet there. So that's what I did. I just kind of walked and just hoped that they all found a book that was kind of keep them occupied for a bit. Horrendous. Right. Next question is Hibs. Who is going to be the next Hibs youngster to become established in the first team? Say start 10 first team games.
How many did they say? 10?
10.
I don't know enough a lot about them, but you've got to think it's got to be one of the ones that are kind of hovering about the bench.
They're like Stephen Bradley or Josh Campbell, something like
that. Yeah.
Okay, Jay Caldwell says, John, you're not getting to answer that one. We're just moving on. We're running out of time. Jay Caldwell said, why do Scottish players settle for third in the Premiership? Does this affect the national team in their quest for qualification? Leicester being the answer to any arguments. Do you think they do just settle, and is that a feeling, or is it just the fact that realism tells you can't win it unless you're at the Old Firm?
The players just settle for it, like? Or is it the fans that settle for it? I think it's the fans that settle for it, isn't it?
I think probably
players don't.
Well, the players set themselves a target. So like Hibs will set themselves a target to finish third. Do you know that's a successful season for us? So that must be settling for it. But
it's a club that are setting that target, though.
Aye. Well, no, I think the way the Hibs state is the players are involved in that process of setting the kind of as a group they set a target. But the flip side is they would go into every game wanting to win it. And if you met the ambition of winning every game, then you would win the league.
Mm.
So I suppose any player settles for no winning an individual game.
It's funny though, because if you look at, I was just reading the Scott Brown thread on Hibs.net last night or this morning, whatever, and I'm sure somebody said basically he had no ambition because he went to Celtic and won fucking 300 million trophies or whatever it was. So it's like, well, would he have more ambitions if he had stayed, or did he need to go to England and win nothing to have ambition? So it kind of depends on, because that's what happens. Like Stephen Fletcher, arguably, has he had a better career than Brown, probably in terms of maybe how much money he's earned over the signing on fees and the wages.
Aye, but he's still got
he's got one League Cup, the same one that Scott Brown won.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Suzanne Henderson, if that's Prickus, said, where did Delia Smith go after asking the Norwich fans, where are you?
Straight back to the bar, did you know?
Aye. That was a stupid question, eh? When you think about it now, she surely could have seen them all, where they were.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that the boy that had sent the question in was asking a stupid question.
No.
That's a stupid question.
Where are you? What's the point? We're here. Suzanne Henderson said, have Hugh and Cry found Linda yet?
But they'll never stop looking.
I wonder which Linda it was. Craig says, do you reckon whenever Hibs post content unrelated to signings and people ask if dogs can play centre back or ask for a signing announcement, etc., that the media team are knocking on the scouting team's door?
Aye.
Aye, very much.
It's a bit tiresome, isn't it?
Every tweet that say announce such and such, where's the signings? They'll just be, the media guy will be knocking on Jack Ross's door. You made any signing, and you got Jason Guerin yet? No.
I can't mind if it was on Hibs Bounce or if it was on Hibs.net. I saw somebody saying, surprised they've not thought of that. Kind of like we should be signing centre halves, and this reply was, I'm surprised they've not thought of that themselves. Right, 150k at Hanlon House says, do you think the coin toss could be replaced by tic-tac-toeing? No lampposts between the two captains at the start of the game. Could it be classed as pre-match entertainment? Definitely, we've talked about that before. Definitely could be introduced as
he spoke about that's where he's got that idea, isn't it? What about give me Pitchy?
I'll give him Pitchy, by the way. Aye. Where was the school banned that?
You couldn't do numbers, could you?
It's gambling.
It's
£10 coins or 50 pence against the one.
Game of skill, isn't it? It's no like.
No, it's no, because the skillful part is who can throw it closest to the wall.
Aye.
The unskillful part is flicking up and who gets the most heads. Because you won the ones that landed in heads. That's just a fucking flick of the coin, isn't it?
Oh, what's that? I've got my recollection of the rules. I just thought it was whoever was closest to the wall.
No, you're closest to the wall. You were the one that was then doing the.
Oh right, aye. Well, it's just gambling, isn't
stamping on them while you stop them. Came in your land, try to get them stamp. Remember on that? No.
I was shite at it though. But it stands to reason because I'm shite at gambling. So.
Did you play pitch at your school?
No. I mean, I know what it is, but never at school. No. But I was poor, so there was never any spare change kicking about.
Right, last question comes to Chatter. Says Thomas Tuchel had a fantastic first season for Chelsea. Is his left ear bigger or smaller than one of the handles on the Champions League trophy? And it has got again, you can't really see the pictures there, but that looks no bad. I don't know if they're actual size.
Is the Champions League trophy modelled on his face? Like on the dimensions of his face, kind of trophy shaped.
I don't know, maybe it is. If you design the Champions League trophy, text us in 80295. Right, that's all we've got time for tonight. Out of questions. 3 episodes well done for lasting this long, guys. I'll let you get to your beds. I've had my tea the night, Colin.
Excellent.
Before this,
that's good news.
Next job will be editing this and then getting the dugout and then hopefully getting some sleep before work in the morning.
Press, publish, send.
Aye, press, publish, send. That's it. Job done.
Take a swear word from that.
Aye. Thanks very much for sending in questions. We'd love to get some questions for folk who haven't sent any in before as well. So if you've ever been curious about everything and want an answer, we're probably the least best placed people to answer it, but we'll give it a fucking good shot. So just tweet us and we'll do it. Until then, back on Sunday or Saturday with Quick Bang, Longbangers on Monday. We'll catch you then.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know